Hello, I'm the Media Whiz, because one art form wasn't enough. Today's review was requested by one Preston Fullerton. So, I'm doing a full-on review of country songs. I can finally put on my reviewer resume, hey, I talked about country music on my show. I've looked at bad pop music, rock music, rap and hip-hop, even bad YouTuber music, but I've never really done a full-on review of a country song before. The closest thing I've done before this was a rant on certain country songs that I really didn't like. Crappy country hip-hop fusions like Ride by Florida Georgia Line and Nelly, crappy country pop like Taylor Swift, and whatever the hell Red Solo Cup by Toby Keith even was. That is until that rant video was taken down by Universal Music Group because of the Florida Georgia Line footage. But it's okay, I don't care, I don't even care. So what are the country songs in question we're looking at that Preston requested? Well, we're looking at Too Drunk to Fish by Ray Stevens and Too Drunk to Karaoke by Jimmie Buffett featuring Toby Keith. Too Drunk to Fish is a song off of Stevens' 1997 album Hum It, a 10-track album with other titles like Virgil and the Moonshot, whatever that means, and there's also a song about Albuquerque. That's not 12 minutes long? Yeah, right. Too Drunk to Karaoke is off of Jimmie Buffett's 2013 album Songs from Saint Somewhere, which has even better titles. I mean, how can you go wrong with some of these tracks like Something About a Boat, Einstein Was a Surfer, and I'm No Russian. Country music! Thankfully, we're not looking at the entirety of these albums. We're just looking at these two singles that have very similar sounding titles. This is Too Drunk to Fish and Too Drunk to Karaoke. So what could these clearly revolutionary and intellectual songs be about? Well, they're about a regular hot topic in modern country music, beer and drinking. Okay, I guess there's more to it. Not much, but there's kind of more. Karaoke is about Buffett and Keith stopping off at a karaoke bar, but there's a line! Meaning there's nothing much to do but drink. And oh, those two young 50-somethings are gonna get into some mischief until they're thrown out by some bouncers.
Threw me off the stage. You're too drunk to karaoke. That's what they told me. You're too drunk to karaoke.
On the other hand, Fish is about Stevens recounting a story about a guy he went fishing with who was so drunk he thought a rope was a snake and shot a hole in their boat.
It was an anchor line, coiled up real neat. Harold saw it, white as a ghost, and hollered, "Snake!" He was scared to death, plumb out of his mind, trying not to get bit by that anchor line, and he grabbed my shotgun, blew a hole in the bottom of the boat.
Now, there's a very easy joke in there about a country song about fishing that somehow works using a shotgun in there as well, but I don't know, maybe they were going to go duck hunting when they were done fishing? I'm trying to be fair, come on.
Why do you always go fishing with at least two Baptists? Because if you only take one, he'll drink all your beer.
You shut your unfunny mouth, you hack. Out of the two, I guess I'm more forgiving towards Too Drunk to Fish, since Too Drunk to Karaoke fails in a lot of the same ways that I just don't like modern country songs. I get the appeal of country music is to be relating to the everyman and, you know, the non-celebrities, but part of me just doesn't buy it. I mean, they roll up in a tour bus and everyone is just so nonchalant that two music stars are at this bar. Though, I guess that's more the fault of the music video than the song itself. In comparison, Too Drunk to Fish is weirdly wholesome in how it feels, especially considering the song actually ends with the guy swearing that he'd never drink again.
They threw down a raft and I paddled us home, and he never touched a drop from that moment on. You know the Lord works in mysterious ways, his miracles to perform.
I get that popular country songs have a tendency to be cheesy, but karaoke just comes off like it's trying a little too hard to be funny. If you really break it down, this is just a song about a wasted guy being hauled off because he was singing badly, and they somehow extended this into a 4-minute song. Out of the two, Fish actually finds a way to have a comprehensive story with a beginning and an end. The first verse sets up the guy being drunk, verse 2 is where the boat gets damaged, and the last verse is when they end up back on dry land. Speaking of comedy, the music videos for these songs comes to mind. In karaoke, they try to be funny with all these weird, different musical acts, and, they're, well...
Drunk to karaoke. If you keep on drinking, you're gonna be too drunk to karaoke.
Props to this country bar for being inclusive enough to have an opera act, Siamese twins, and a mariachi band that night.
I was no kind
out of shape to sing a John Bomb song.
Oh, that's cute. They're dressed up like ZZ Top. Don't remind me of musicians I could be listening to instead. The music video for Too Drunk to Fish is pretty low budget and often relies on prop comedy, but I don't know, the low budgetness kind of adds a charm to it. There's something humble about it. It's really cheesy, but I don't find it as lame as a music video that clearly has some kind of budget, like Too Drunk to Karaoke, which just comes across like the music video equivalent of a Happy Madison movie or a bad Comedy Central show. Lastly now, let's talk about the instrumentals. Karaoke's beat isn't that bad. The production is fine, especially the guitar solo. That's actually really good here. However, it does feel like it's no different than any other popular country song that was out at the time. Like, I could easily see some producers slapping some hip-hop beats over this and trying to sell it as another Nelly remix. Compared to Fish's beat, which is a lot more old school and rustic sounding, which I think goes along with Ray Stevens' style of music. Even some of his newer stuff like, Taylor Swift is stalking me?
Taylor Swift is stalking me.
She's a little Lolita. She's a husband. She's a trash.
She's stalking me.
Makes the ride look like a Girl Scout. Yeah, she's a fan.
Oh my god, overusage of green screen, bad Photoshop, and boomer humor? Ugh. It's like every early 2010 YouTube song parody channel. Or even worse, Nostalgia Critic's review of The Wall by Pink Floyd. Anyway, as goofy as this beat sounds, I actually like the sound of it. Maybe it's just because I think this has more country influence than this, which just sounds like the backing instrumental for a Buffalo Wild Wings ad. Also, the addition of wind instruments during the chorus, actually a really nice touch.
Don't go near the water with a man too drunk to fish.
Out of these two songs, I think I'm more lenient towards Too Drunk to Fish than Too Drunk to Karaoke. Not by a whole lot, but still. Overall, Too Drunk to Karaoke is just another modern country song that is more bland than awful. The beat isn't anything special, but it is listenable at least, which is more than I could say about something like Acapella or Hefner. The music video tries a little too hard to be funny and just comes across as corny. Not much of a surprise though, considering this is from one of the guys who did Red Solo Cup. And the actual subject matter is just the same problem as other modern country music. It lacks the rustic charm of the few country acts I actually do like Johnny Cash for example, and feels more like a fantasy piece for some middle-aged men who just want to pretend that they're still in high school. And with all that said, it's still not worthy of being one of the worst songs I've ever reviewed. I wasn't mad while listening to this song. It just reminded me of why I'm just not that into modern country music. While Too Drunk to Fish isn't a great song, I did appreciate its more blatant comedic approach, and it seemed that it was coming from a more well-intentioned place. The beat has some more bounce to it with its rustic approach, the lyrics are fine for a comedy country single, and the music video does have some low-budget charm to it. So Preston, thanks for the request, and I hope you enjoyed. Because next time we're going to be reviewing two songs again, and they're going to be much, much worse than these songs were. Until then, I'm the Media Whiz, because one art form wasn't enough.
Gather round, ye lads and lasses, set ye for a while, and hearken to me mournful tale about the Emerald Isle. Let's all raise our glasses high to friends and family gone, and lift our voices in another Irish drinking song. Consumption took me mother and me father got the pox. Me brother drank the whiskey till he wound up in a box.